She's starting to pick them off, though. Zenyatta going to hook to the outside. Meanwhile, it's Colonel John Summerbird in the red cap. And Zenyatta's come to the outside. Zenyatta coming flying on the grandstand side. Gio Ponti on the inside. Summerbird is right there. This is unbelievable. Zenyatta, what a performance, one we'll never forget. Looked impossible, but it is Zenyatta, still unbeaten under Mike Smith. Gio Ponti second, Summerbird, and then Richards Kid. What a dramatic performance, one of the most sensational ever. Zenyatta wins the Breeders' Cup Classic.
This is unbelievable. Yeah, as I say, it just sticks in your mind as one of those iconic race calls for an iconic race with a great racehorse, big race, obviously. And Trevor Denman steps up for the call. As I said, he had unique calls like that. He had some nice catchphrases that we all remember. So, again, a well-deserved tip of the cap with a special eclipse for career excellence going to Trevor Denman that will be awarded on Eclipse Night coming up. What, a week? Yeah, a week from tomorrow, January 22nd. So we talked over the weekend about the Eclipse Awards themselves with Mike McAdam, and there are categories that it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So looking forward to that. Look forward to it every year, but this year there's some fun categories, certainly, and extra special. Going to be interesting to see what Trevor says when he gets up there to accept the award, but that, again, will be a week from tomorrow, the 2025 Eclipse Awards. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, more on the news and notes side and a little bit of handicapping and more. Stay tuned.
The championship season is on at Gulfstream Park with great horse racing action Thursday through Sunday. Come out and enjoy the world's best horses, trainers, and jockeys as they compete over the Hallandale Beach Oval all season long. Take your experience up a notch and join us in 10 Palms Restaurant with unbeatable track views, outstanding dining, and convenient wagering options. For reservations, event schedules, tickets, and more, head to GulfstreamPark.com.
Think horse racing is too complicated? Think again.
And they're off.
Every pro was a newbie once. Meet DRF Newbie, the mobile tool loaded with daily racing form data and the power of DRF AI. Get the insights you need fast so you can play smarter and feel more confident. DRF Newbie, horse racing made simple. Try it free today. Visit newbie.drf.com.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
Welcome back to Racing Across America Weekday. Seth Merrow in the studio. Thanks for joining us. There was a nice article a couple days ago, going back to Monday, reflecting on, I think the work was Sunday. Sunday. Wade Barrio was on track, and Mike gave the workout kind of a positive spin in his article, but it was notable. And we have Wade Barrio coming into the stretch, and you'll see him coming down the stretch and going out onto the clubhouse turn. But according to Mike, the work was the most impressive for Wade Barrio since he was scratched in the post-parade minutes before the start of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile on November 1st. Wade Barrio had not worked for 24 days before breezing 3 furlongs in an uncharacteristically slow 40.2 here last week. But this workout on Sunday got a little more of a positive reaction, as I say, from Mike Welch. Safi Joseph said he's going to need to come back with one more good work next week, probably 5 furlongs, because we're still behind schedule. He's aiming, obviously, towards the Pegasus, where he is the defending champion. But if you're a Wade Barrio fan, you have to feel a little bit better. As Mike said, the workout going back to last week was a little bit unimpressive. Yesterday, or Sunday's was a little bit better. as he heads to the Pegasus World Cup. But again, Safi Joseph saying we're a little bit behind schedule is notable as well. So they're looking for one more good work next week. Irad Ortiz was scheduled to be on the horse on Sunday for the work, but had to take off, and he took off his mounts on Sunday afternoon as well as he came down with the flu. So we'll see if Irad is back tomorrow racing. The flu can put you down for a little bit, but these guys are always in pretty good shape and seem to come back from things like that sooner rather than later. But again, notable workout on Sunday for White Barrio heading to the Pegasus, a week and a half or so. Speaking of that, I'll pull up at this point coming up on the weekend, because I mentioned it earlier, the big day at the fairgrounds. Really a big day. This past weekend was a little quiet, but coming up this Saturday looks like a big day as far as stakes action. In New York, the ladies for 4-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. So one stake on Saturday in New York, but down at the fairgrounds, wow, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big stakes. The Colonel Bradley, the Duncan, the Silver Bullet Day, the LeCompte obviously will be the highlight for the 3-year-olds, the Louisiana Stakes, and the Krantz Memorial. Those are all down at fairgrounds on Saturday. We'll talk about that over the, more over the next few days. But turf and dirt, I always say that 3-year-old trail to the Louisiana Derby down at the fairgrounds, ultimately in Louisiana, but then ultimately you would expect some of those to move on to the Kentucky Derby as well. But those big 3-year-old days, like the LeCompte coming up on Saturday, feature typically a nice array of stakes that hit on multiple divisions. And again, that is no different coming up on Saturday with Bradley and the Kenner on turf. The Silver Bullet Day for the 3-year-old fillies, LeCompte for the 3-year-old boys, older in the Louisiana, and older in the Krantz for the fillies and mares, older. So down at Gulfstream Park, Sunshine Sprint, Sunshine Turf. Laurel, nice little stakes day as well. They have 3 stakes scheduled at Laurel, the Fireplug, the Geisha, 4 stakes, the Jennings and the What a Summer. So 4 stakes at Laurel. And out at Santa Anita, they have some Calbreds, California Cup Derby, California Cup Sprint, Cal Cup Oaks, and the Sunshine Millions Filly and Mare Turf Sprint. Oh, also the unheated turf class. So there's 5 stakes out at Santa Anita. So nice stakes day at Santa Anita. Nice little stakes day in Maryland at Laurel. A couple of stakes at Gulfstream, 1 in New York, and a big day that we will certainly be paying attention to down at the fairgrounds. This weekend also, be aware that there is another Kentucky Derby Future Pool. It'll open at noon on Friday. It'll close at 6 on Sunday. Don't bet before that. Well, if you're going to use a horse that is racing in the LeCompte, don't bet before the LeCompte. Make sure you wait until that one is run, because clearly the odds will be affected by that. But as has been the case with the past few seasons, 40 individual entrants, 39 individuals, and then there's the all others. And that, the 40 number allows for some decent odds in here. And I always say, boy, when you're this far out, you want about 20-1 at least, because they just have to make it to the gate, much less win. But favorite among the individual entrants is Ted Nauthy at 6-1 morning line, and all others is 4-1. All others will clearly take some action. There's no doubt about that. So again, that is coming up starting Friday at noon and closing 6 o'clock on Sunday. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the week progresses as well. Tonight, here at Capital OTB, we will offer some Turfway racing, and as will be the case on Wednesdays throughout January, next 3 Wednesdays, today and the next couple, and then Saturday, January 31st as well. Have a little fun after dark at Turfway Park. going to listen to our friend Tony Kalo. And I thought in honor of that, I'd take a little look at some of the action at Turfway. I have 3 races in a row. So who knows, maybe a little pick 3 action or whatnot in these races. But, and again, it's early in the day, so I haven't seen scratches or whatnot. But I know a lot of people watch Turfway, like Turfway, in that there is some real value there. That some of the races are a little bit of a mystery, but if you can solve that mystery, you may wind up with a nice ticket in your pocket. So again, we'll have Turfway tonight, and the 3rd race at Turfway tonight. We are looking at. Let me just get my info. We're looking at plain vanilla 10.5 to 12.5 claimers, so lowerish level, 3/4 of a mile. In the 3rd race, I'm 6'10", 11 and 9. I thought the 6 was a little bit interesting at 10 to 1. It's Kelsey Danner, who it's kind of interesting. The meet started early in December, and Kelsey Danner had okay numbers during that period early on, 28 starters. Before the first of the year, 28 starters, 3 winners, 5 seconds, and 2 thirds. Decent numbers. But since the first of the year, so a limited number of days, 9 starters, 4 wins, couple of seconds, couple of thirds. So it seems like Kelsey Danner's barn has gotten a little bit, is heated up a little bit. Last 3 years going route to a sprint, and that's the case for the number 6 here, Jeopardy Theory. Route to a sprint, Kelsey Danner, the last 3 years, 17%. At Turfway, 21%. And if you parse that down to either claimers or maiden claimers, 3 for 8. So does pretty well in this kind of a situation. Fernando de la Cruz is having a nice meet as well. So I thought things added up for this one. Coming out of a similar event last time, finishing 4th, similar class-wise. But again, that was in a mile, so we're cutting back to the sprint today with those numbers I talked about. I'm going to put Jeopardy Theory on top and hope we get that morning line. The morning line, given all of that, seems maybe a little bit generous. But if we do get it, Jeopardy Theory on top. Highly Flammable in the 2nd spot. Decent little 3rd place finish last time. Was racing up at Woodbine for Marty Drexler going back to the summer. Then came down to Turfway and changed barns. And again, similar event last time, albeit this one stretching out a little bit, went 5.5 last time, going 6 today, but seemed to be making up a little bit of ground last time. I think that one's logical in the 10 spot. And then we'll go just outside of that to number 11, Major Wager, is also potentially being a little bit of a player. Also coming out of a 3rd place finish. A 3rd place finish that was a dead heat with Highly Flammable. So it's kind of one of those, you like one, I think you have to like the other in here. So 3rd race at Turfway tonight, 6, 10, 11, and 9. As I say, I went 3 races in a row. So the 4th race at Turfway. And again, you got to love this. I mean, the third race has a scheduled field of 11. Again, we'll see what scratches turn out to be. The 4th race, scheduled field of 12 with a couple of also eligibles. You got to love the big fields. They always make for value. And in the 4th race, we're looking, again, at lowerish level claimers, conditional claimers here, 10 to 15 tags, non-winners of 3 lifetime, 3/4 of a mile. In the 4th at Turfway, 5, 2, 3, and 6. Sassy Walker on top. Just has a good record at Turfway and continued that last time on the seasonal move to Turfway, the middle of December. Had been racing at Fairmount and then started at Hawthorne. Had put together a pretty good season. A little light on the win end, and I have to admit that makes me a little bit leery. 12 in 2025, 12 starts, a win, 6 seconds, 4 thirds. So 11 times in the money. In the hunt, far more often than not. But as I say, a little late on the win end. But came down to Turfway last time where the horse, 8 starts, 2 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. Just missed last time on the move down to Turfway. So I'll take another shot with Sassy Walker. We're looking at 4 to 1 on the morning line, which I think would be very fair. Perula in the 2nd spot gets a little class dip. Also made the move to Turfway last time, had been racing in the Mid-Atlantic, Colonial, and Laurel on the turf. Then came to Turfway early in December, towards the beginning of the meet, and won pretty nicely. This price, but an N2L, so moves up to N3L. I don't think that's a huge jump. It's a little bit of a difference, but it's not huge. But as I say, seem to appreciate that first start on the synthetic for Michael Stidham. So at 8-1, I think that one's very playable. And then Midnight Mary in the third spot, the Catman, Wayne Catalano runner, third in the most recent effort, and was just behind my top pick, Sassy Walker. So it's another one of those where you like one, I think you have to throw the other in the mix as well. So the fourth race at Turfway tonight, 5, 2, 3, and 6. And finally, in our little threesome, again, 3 straight races, so maybe a little pick 3 action playing around with those. Turfway's fifth race, conditional claim, a little higher up the ladder, $20,000 to $30,000 tags, non-winners of 2 lifetime, 8.5 furlongs to the trip, a field of 14, well, a field of 12, again, 2 also eligibles. 7, 6, 10, and 5 for me at Turfway tonight, fully booked. This one's kind of interesting. It's a Mike Rapoli runner who was claimed 2 races back, claimed away from Chad and Klarovich. Claimed for $50K, clearly a horse that wasn't living up to the program for those connections. They had paid $460,000 for this horse back in 2023 as a yearling, but didn't debut until May of last year. Started 5 times for Chad and Klarovich with 1 win on the resume, which was at the maiden special level, but had raced for a maiden tag of $100,000 in the second and third starts. So they were already, as compared to the purchase price of $460, they were already saying maybe not living up to what we thought when we bought this one. Claimed away for $50,000 off a 4th place finish and came back. Had 3 straight starts on the turf, and the 1 win was on the turf. Then claimed and. Rapoli gave this one to Amelia Green. They started on the dirt last time. It wasn't spectacular. An 8th place finish, but 8 3/4 lengths. Wasn't totally dusted, but it wasn't a great performance. And now they come to Kentucky and try the synthetic for a lower tag. We're looking at 10-1 on the morning line. Again, I'm not sure that's going to hold up, but if it does, I think this horse could be very interesting. Been working down at the Churchill Training Center since late December. Again, the maiden breaker was on the turf, so just trying the synthetic. Again, interesting connections, interesting kind of scenario here, and the interesting morning line as well. 7 on top, number 6 Game Point in the second spot. The numbers make this one very interesting. Comes over from some turf races at Churchill. They were back in the spring, however, so this one has to overcome a layoff. And the workouts aren't really indicating when. There was one in the middle of December that looked pretty good. Hope Joe's right in the third spot. Try in a similar event last time on the resume. It was, again, one of those that's going to have to overcome a layoff, though, because the last time was about 11 months ago. So there is a layoff to consider. But that start last time right here at Turfway, again, at a fairly similar event, was pretty good. And again, the workouts aren't necessarily saying anything, although like Game Point, there was a workout in the middle of December that was actually pretty good. So I'll put that one in the mix as well. The 5th race at Turfway, 7, 6, 10, and 5. And again, we'll have a little Turfway action tonight here on the network and via Caplow TV Bet. All right, we'll take one more break, and when we come back, we'll give you a little update on what's coming up here at Caplow TV, promotions and events-wise, and more. Stay tuned.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
The championship season is on at Gulfstream Park. Great horse racing action Thursday through Sunday. Come out and enjoy the world's best horses, trainers, and jockeys as they compete over the Hallandale Beach Oval all season long. Take your experience up a notch and join us in 10 Palms Restaurant with unbeatable track views, outstanding dining, and convenient wagering options. For reservations, event schedules, tickets, and more, head to GulfstreamPark.com.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
Welcome back. As promised before the break, we'll update you on what's coming up here. We've already alluded to it. Well, I haven't alluded. We spoke directly to it. Turfway Park tonight and for the next 3 Wednesdays, including tonight in January. So a little Turfway action tonight. Also on Saturday, January 31st, right here on OTBTV and via Capital OTB Bet. So keep that in mind for tonight and the rest of the Wednesdays in January. Friday, our online Pick 3 bankroll. Now, the team has already been selected, but we'd love to have you tune in. And you can also check out that a little bit later that day online. We'll have tickets posted and root along, even if you didn't get on the team. But if you're on the team, congratulations. And looking forward to Friday. The last few bankrolls have been a lot of fun. There was one, like 3 or 4 bankrolls back, just wound up with an incredible over $1,000 separated between the teams. So everybody walked away with a nice chunk of cash there. But they've all recently made at least some decent chunk of money, and we'll see if we can continue that on Friday with our $150 Pick 3 online bankroll. Saturday here at the Clubhouse Racebook match bet promotion. So if you'd like to come down, watch some sports on our sports screens, maybe grab a little lunch at Black Bear, enjoy the races, and maybe win a little extra something with the match bet promotion. That is Saturday right here, Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. All right, coming up on Capital OTB TV today, you can watch a little Tampa. Looking forward to that. That's always a lot of fun. We'll have some cut-ins with handicapping info on Tampa. There's also some parks in the mix. Mahoning Turfway tonight. And also tonight on the sulky side, Northfield. Go back to the Thoroughbreds, Charlestown, Delta Downs. And on the sulky side again, Western Fair. So a lot of fun action for a Wednesday here on the network and available for wagering via CapitalOTBBet.com. All right, Seth Merrow wrapping it up for a weekday edition of Racing Across America. We will be back the next couple of days as well. We'll have some Derby conversation, look at some of the nice races and preview and review. Should be a fun week, as they say, leading into, as I noted, a big weekend of stakes action highlighted by that big day coming up at the fairgrounds. But again, going to wrap it up now. Tune in a little bit later this afternoon for all the racing action, some cut-ins with the Tampa selections. And as far as Racing Across America, we'll see you tomorrow. We'd like to thank Gulfstream Park for their sponsorship of this program and some of the other programming and events here at Capital OTB. Gulfstream Park's championship meet features great racing now through Florida Derby weekend at the end of March.
You're watching OTBTV, a service of Capital Off-Track Betting.